Well, I'm sure you will agree it was simply sweltering in Barbados today as temperatures soared to 32 degrees Celsius. In fact, it was just one of many very hot days in recent weeks, and as most Barbadians sought shelter wherever they could, the cry was much about the searing heat.
I was installing a job, and my clothes that I was working in, it ended up full with water, perspiration. So that's indeed how hot today was. I had to change a shirt when I went back to the workshop to go back out on another job site.
Thank God I work in an office, so it's air conditioned, so that's my reprieve. That's how I get away from it. But no, it was ridiculously hot.
It isn't only today, but I find in general the temperature within the last 3 to 4 months has been extremely hot. Obviously, we can attribute some of this to global warming, but obviously with the impending storm coming, the temperature is going to be even worse. So it's been very difficult.
The past 2 days, we're real hot, and we just doing that always juice, water, and get a little snack in between.
With the heat, what I do, I use multiple fans, or I drive around in AC.
But what's exactly causing this extreme weather? We'll get some insight now from climatologist at the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology, Dr. Cedric van Meerbeeck. Dr. van Meerbeeck, good evening to you.
Good evening, Mr. Bowen. How are you doing?
Well, thank you. You heard the voice of the people. So what's causing this heat?
Yes, very much. So all the reasons that people have mentioned are correct, but there's 2 more things that we need to bear in mind this time around. So indeed, global warming is warming our climate progressively in Barbados, in the Caribbean. But this year in particular, what we're seeing is that the North Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea that surround us, they're really record warm right now. And that has been the case for the past few months. This heat is actually coming into the atmosphere and leading to air temperatures that are very warm. But don't be fooled though, it's not just the temperatures. We can say it's 32 degrees, but what's also happening is that humidity. The air is very moist. And as we all know, when it's very humid, it's harder to cool down. So this combination of factors is what's happening this year. On top of that, even more, we have also what is called an El Nino event in the Pacific, which means the tropical Pacific is also boiling hot. And when all those factors come together, it really gets hot here, especially since in Barbados, September is the hottest month of the year in terms of having this high temperature, but also having high humidity at this time of year. And in fact, just as the persons we heard just moments ago were absolutely right, it's been really, really warm. It's been much warmer than it usually is. It's been more humid than it usually is. We've had more heat waves than we usually do over summer. And just to let you know, up in Husbands, where the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology is located, where we have our own station, we recorded 6 consecutive days where the temperature is becoming dangerously hot in that we need to protect ourselves from the heat.
So naturally, we all want to know, when can we expect, from where you sit, some relief from this extreme heat?
Yes, so it's like a Christmas present. It comes later in the year. But truly, research that we have conducted with our partners around the world shows that really and truly the heat season normally ends at the end of October in Barbados, and that's also the case in most of the Caribbean. It ends somewhere in September in the Northern Caribbean and somewhere in November in the Guianas. But because we have this extra heat caused by the ocean being really hot this year, we might still see a few hot days in the month of November. But really and truly, as we get into December, we go back into what we could call the cool season.
There's always that switching between El Nino and La Nina. So what can your predictions say about the return of La Nina, which expects to be a lot cooler next year?
So for now, the forecast models that we use around the world, including also in the Caribbean, suggests that the El Nino will last through the winter. So that's why I can confidently say that even though we're going into the cool season and we will not be bothered by heat anymore, it will still remain warmer than usual, right? So the El Nino now is the first El Nino since 2018. The past 2 years we've had a La Nina the year before that too. So 3 years in a row we've been a little bit blessed, if you will, by cooler temperatures. This year the hot temperatures come even harder as we are not used to it anymore since it's been a few years. But indeed it is true, our temperatures and the humidity are hotter than what we're used to even in the hottest month of the year.
Dr. Van Meerbeeck, we want to thank you so much for lending your expertise, for helping us understand better what's been happening, and we thank you for joining us this evening.
You're most welcome, Mr. Baum. Take care, everyone, and stay safe in the heat.
Thank you.